All
Like
right.
me and Alex are talking about how we can make our own Mortal Kombat movie that would be even better than that movie.
See, here we are.
Fuck.
All right.
God damn. All right.
All right.
Sorry.
We're professionals.
I don't mean to get mad in a biblical place.
But all right. So now that we're recording tonight, I'm joined with.
Matt Thomas from Studio Redband, the Rambo Manian, or the ex Rambo Manian. Glad to be here.
And as you can already tell, well, tonight we're going to rant on a certain film. Yeah, I think we've already set the mood for that. Going in, and we were just chatting a little bit beforehand about it, and so I guess to start off, we both have seen the new Mortal Kombat. I did a rant and review of the film, and I know, like I said, Matt has seen the film. But before we get to that, and really getting stuff out of the basement in regards to that film, getting stuff off our chest, going back, like,
Yeah,
did you play Mortal Kombat growing up, or what's your
a
history
little
with
bit.
Mortal Kombat?
A little bit. I remember I was living in the projects when I was young, and this kid John Rodriguez had it, and he was playing it. We used to all go over and play it at his house, and it was really fun. And then like my friend Cornell, he's the big Mortal Kombat guy. He plays like he just loves Mortal Kombat. So play some at his house too.
Yeah, I never. It's funny because I've always heard of Mortal Kombat, but I can't say that I really got the chance to really like play the early games. Uh, but I love the characters. I love the graphic violence of the games. I remember playing some of the PlayStation 2 ones, um, but that was later on. But I guess if we can skip ahead a little bit to the first movie, which to me is still the best video game film because of the great cast. Everyone brought a presence to the characters, entertaining
Yeah,
soundtrack, great fight
yeah,
scenes and choreography. And
yeah.
what are your thoughts on the first movie?
Well, just going back a little bit,
Oh yeah, go.
um, I was never a great Mortal Kombat player, but it's like one of those things where it's like when you watch it, you just can't, you know. And I was talking to Alex about it last night. Shout out to Alex. Um, it's really important. It's a really important game because it broke boundaries for freedom, kind of like a freedom of gaming boundary, if you will, for the time. So it's definitely something that we needed for today. Like I don't think gaming would be where it is now if it wasn't that game. So it's a very important game. The movie was great. I went to see that opening weekend. That was just great, and it was like a really big time. Like no matter where you went, you heard that song everywhere. You know, it was just a really good. It was like a feel good movie for the times. I know, like a lot of people say it's a horrible movie, but I don't see anything wrong with that movie. And even now, I think with this new one, the best thing I could take away from the new one is that it brought interest back to those old ones to go back and look at them
Yeah,
again. Even the really bad one, like Annihilation, some people call it bad, but I look at that movie now and I see all the practical and everything, and I can't help but fall in love with that.
yeah. Isn't that something that? And I know we're kind of getting ahead a little bit of how the new movie is so bad that it only elevates the first movie that much higher. And I love the first movie. Like again, I love the cast. Robin Shaw, Christopher Lambert. Who was great as Raiden. Lyndon Ashby as Johnny Cage was great, entertaining, and
Mm-hmm.
everybody, again had a presence, and everybody brought a certain charm to the characters, which you can,
Yeah,
there's none of that in this new one. And
yeah,
I know I'm sort of, I don't mean to skim on the, I guess if you want to say timeline of the games, but again, that's sort of me. I don't have that sort of history with the games like the early ones because I didn't really play them a lot. But over the years, I've always seen, clips of the early games, and I really appreciate the graphic violence and the characters. It was later on that I got a little bit more into it because of the ones for PlayStation 2.
Yeah.
But, but I love the first movie.
Yeah, it's magical. It's been like I remember being scared to death of Goro when Goro showed up in the theater. There's just something about big things like that on screen, and like that, like you were saying before about the tangibility of that, knowing that it's fake, but at the same time it's there. And like it's like when you go to like Universal Studios and you see the Jurassic Park T-Rex, right? It's like it's fake, but it's still like right in front of you. And that's like you get that little feeling of what if, you can kind of feel like I don't know, there's just something that you can react to that's different. And like I know I say that a lot with movies, but I really do feel like it brings out more of the actor instead of having something on a golf ball on a stick. Like when they made Jurassic Park and that T-Rex is there, if I was on, they would talk about like the mechanics failing and the T-Rex moving on its own and shit. Imagine if you're just sitting there eating lunch and the fucking T-Rex looks at you for a second. There's a suspension of disbelief.
Yeah, and there's stories out there I've seen. It's funny we're talking about this because I've recently watched interviews with Robin Shaw and Lyndon Ashby and how they talked about how the Goro animatronic would break down during shooting scenes and would just malfunction a lot. But you know what? But it's like you said, you get more out of it because between the tangibility of the effect and the actor interacting. It makes it more dimensional than, let's say, a CGI Goro facing off against Birthmark Cole.
Yeah, we watched. I was really bummed out with the Goro in the new movie. But then, like, I went back and I was watching clips and I saw that clip from '95 where Kano's eating at the table and Goro walks up to him, and I totally forgot about that scene since I was a kid seeing it. Right, so I was like, wow, like the presence.
Yeah,
Presence is really great.
You felt the realness of Goro, even if people, because people now I know a lot of people now scoff at that, but again, we go back to tangibility and the practical effect of it.
Yeah, like me and my wife were watching that scene from Annihilation where they're fighting on the ice bridge, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, and she's watching it. And then when they go underneath when the ice bridge breaks and they go underneath and they're fighting underneath, she was like, man, like it's so great to see like actual real stuff there, like they're fighting in a real space. Like everything in that room was built. Like say what you will about like how bad that movie is, but you could tell that someone loved what they did enough that they tried to make that movie great.
And as bad as that is, I'd rather watch that. This new one because
like,
it's less
that
boring.
shot where Sub-Zero jumps back and then his whole frame is there and Scorpion hits it and it blows up.
Yeah,
like that's real. Like that was a real thing, and it's totally like, whoa, that's great.
And it's something too that I know. And this is shout out to Rand Brad for Life. He mentioned in his rant that you look at the first movie, even the second movie. They weren't afraid to take it in, some exotic settings like you would see in the games. And what do you have in the new one? You have Goro in a barn.
Yeah, I didn't like that at all.
You have,
and it kind of felt like when they were fighting, when that barn fight broke out, and then they cut to the other people and they cut back, like Cole would have been dead by then. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but like Goro fucking just grabbed him and fucking boom, 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 he would have been gone.
But he grew some armor out of nowhere. But yeah,
do they call him coal because he like lights up, like his chest is like a smoldering coal, and then he gets that armor? that really, really horrible armor.
I
That
thought
Aquaman fucking armor.
I called him Birthmark Cole. He's a Winter Soldier wannabe. That's
The worst Christmas present we ever got.
yeah. I'd rather get a coal jammed up my ass.
Not just any coal, a blue coal.
But Annihilation. I mean, have you seen that recently, or is it got any thoughts on
I've
it?
been watching clips of it. I don't know why. Okay, because I've been on this big, like, really big VR kick. I've been watching every movie in VR now. So, like, I saw they had Mortal Kombat and they had Annihilation on there for free, and I was like, all right. And then they had the new one. So I rented the new one to watch in VR, but we ended up watching it on TV. And I was so disenchanted with what I saw that I didn't even bother watching it in VR. So, so the next day I go back to watch the other two in VR, and now they're $4.99 each since the movie came out. See, so I just resorted to watching clips on my cell phone, which are still better than.
Yeah.
But like the 2-inch screen is better than what I paid $30 for that.
Yeah, like I said, I'd rather watch Annihilation because it's less boring. I mean, yeah.
I can't wait to watch those old ones. I'm even gonna try to watch the Conquest. I'm gonna even try to watch that on my headset if I can.
This is how far we're digging, folks. But
Yeah.
no, I mean, okay, I'll give Annihilation Jax. He was good in that. Decent choreography and fight scenes, good soundtrack. I don't like the kill off Johnny Cage in the first 5 minutes. No wonder Lyndon Ashby didn't come back. No wonder Christopher Lambert didn't come back. Because you had James Remar as Raiden in that one.
Yeah.
I like James
I
Remar.
still kind of dig it though. It was just a hard sell. Like back then, I couldn't accept it, but today, I like Remar a little bit more. He reminds me of my brother, right? So I could kind of dig it now because I could always like when I see him, I could call him Raiden or something, you know.
I just realized James Remar suddenly isn't that bad as Raiden compared to this new one.
Yeah, he's my warrior brother. I should get him a fucking warrior vest for his birthday or something.
Yeah, even Raiden's new haircut in the Annihilation is better than anything in the new one. I like James Remar, and again, suddenly he's not so bad compared to this new piece of wood in the new one. But anyway,
Yeah, we were watching. Me and my wife were like making jokes, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not allowed to interfere," and I'm like, "Yeah, because they didn't pay you enough in your contract to fight." Like,
yeah, Raiden never interferes with these fights. But
and he said like, "Oh, you could just put them in another dimension, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Why didn't you do that in the fucking beginning of the movie?" Like,
yeah, why? Yeah, we're gonna. Okay, well, since we're on that, since we're about to go down that road, let's go down that road.
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, now we can talk about, and I mean, we covered the first movie a little bit, which we love, Annihilation, which is bad as it is. Give me that any day. So now we're getting into the new movie here.
I don't know. There's still part of me that's like, I'm glad we got it, and I think it's more like I'm glad we got it because, like, now there's no excuse to say, okay, you know what, we're gonna try something with a sequel. You know, they'll probably not. They'll probably try to play it safe. They'll probably try to get a big actor to play Johnny Cage, and they're gonna really like focus on that. But me personally, I would like to see a prequel. I want to see Kung Lao and Liu Kang and a real Goro. That's what I want to see.
And it's kind of what you mentioned before, how, you know, it's so simple. Like, it's such a straightforward concept of Mortal Kombat. You have characters that people know. We don't need a new character to introduce us to Mortal Kombat.
And I don't get like why they did like they give you 3 characters, right, which automatically takes away from 3 characters that could have been really well utilized that you don't need. And then for the bad guys, they give you a couple of bad guys who are kind of sucky. And then the real bad guys, they don't give you the real bad guy. Like they it's like they're watered down versions of those bad guys. And then I don't know. I don't know.
It's a very watered down version of the first movie.
Yeah,
Of,
it's sad because I really want to like it. But I don't know if I want to watch a movie that doesn't have Kung Lao. I don't know if I want to watch. I don't like Kano. I think he was the worst character. But in this movie, he was kind of cool.
yeah, he's one. I mean, next to Kano, Kung Lao was one of the better parts of this movie.
Yeah, I was so mad when they fucking killed him. The only thing that gives me a little bit of hope is they said that, you know, at the end they said that the death is just another portal to somewhere else. So I hope he comes back, and if he does come back, I don't want to see him recast. Please just give me him, because to me, like, the heart was Liu Kang and his cousin. That was the heart of the movie. I didn't care about anybody else. And Sonya Blade said Mortal Kombat too many fucking times. and, and then when they got to Mortal Kombat, there was no fucking tournament. Like, okay, if I did it, the movie would start, everyone would just magically wake up, and they wouldn't have no idea where they were. The tournament would have already began. They had to fight their way out. You learn a little bit about them as you go along, and you do not stop fighting. You fight from fucking frame 1 to last frame. End of reel, I want to see fucking finish him, and that's it. No credits. Mortal Kombat on the screen. Everybody knows what it's all about. The end.
Well, talking about the characters, let's start back to, okay, if we break down the cast, the main character of Cole.
What character?
What character? Yeah.
You know that was just so that the fucking film studio could get their hands on money from the next couple of video games. That's all that was. They weren't thinking about Mortal Kombat the movie. They were thinking about, oh man, these DLCs sell a lot of money, right? These kids love these apps and add-ons. Oh, let's give them Cole Young. Who's Cole Young? Exactly.
What if I understand is the studio is it's a studio mandate to introduce a new character so people can be reintroduced to Mortal Kombat. I'm like, people already know what the property is. They know what the concept
why
is.
couldn't they just give them Rambo?
Yeah.
I want Rambo as my new character.
Yeah, that'd be more entertaining.
I want RoboCop. I want Dead or Alive, y'all coming with me. I want fucking Broforce. Something. Give me something.
Liu Kang.
Would you put three new characters in a fighting in an established movie that had no fucking story? They fucking throw literally, they threw the baby out with the bathwater. That fucking baby is there for 2 seconds, and why? Why? Scorpion could have had another relative he had a family tree, right? He could have had another relative that went down in the lineage.
Yeah, I see. Even I forgot about that in the first 5 minutes of the film. Which I dig the revenge subplot.
Yeah, but give me a little mystery. Don't give me this fucking baby who no one talks about again. Are they saving the baby for the sequel? Is the baby gonna be fucking Johnny Cage?
Well, it's something to do with the lineage of the Cole character, but even that's cloudy. Like, as far as they're explaining that, breaking down Cole's lineage. Lineage.
They found Cole's lineage in the diaper of that baby. That was done. It's over. Damn.
So even with before that, like the Scorpion and Sub-Zero revenge story, those characters are barely in it.
Yeah.
Cole,
Yeah.
Cole is a blank slate, is a nothing character that you don't care about, and his plot armor.
And how did he beat Goro like that? I don't know. Goro, you would think it would take everybody to beat Goro. It would be like the fight, where the Ninja Turtles take on the Shredder in the first movie when they're on the roof. You would think it would be like that. At least that's what I was hoping for.
But the plot gave Cole armor.
Yeah, you your most badass character, you gave him like a cameo. He has a cameo.
But which is worse? Now that I think about it, is it Goro in this movie and his wasted appearance and the way he goes out, or Bill Murray's cameo in the Ghostbusters reboot and the way he went out?
Oh, and that's a close one, huh? I think they're tied.
People out there can decide. Comment down below.
Yeah. My wife's in there. I don't know if you can hear her. She's singing. If you listen really close,
She's like, oh, they're talking about that movie.
Yeah, she's like singing to one of her apps. Or something.
She'll come in and rant on the movie too, but
Yeah, she was like, I can't believe you spent $30 on that fucking movie. It's like, you're a fucking loser.
See? All right, what about Liu Kang? Do you remember this Liu Kang?
I actually like this Liu Kang. I thought this Liu Kang was pretty good. Like, that's why I want, like, if they would have just did Liu Kang and Kano, Liu Kang and Kung Lao, I would have been happy with just those two.
Yeah, me too.
Because he felt real. He felt like, like he had a nonchalantness to him that was very. He felt really modest, and he was a really good actor. That guy.
This is more of a spiritual version of the character.
Yeah. And they were serious. You could tell, like, that guy, he really took time with his line. You could tell, like, he was really invested.
Yeah. What about Sonya Blade?
I didn't like Sonya at all. I tried to like Sonya, but I was like, nah, it doesn't compare to Meredith Caprice. I don't know. People can say what they want, but Meredith Caprice, I don't even know her real name. What's her real name?
Oh, what the first movie? Bridget Wilson. Yeah. Bridget Wilson.
Yeah, she's just great. She's perfect.
The girl from Billy Madison.
Yeah, I like her in everything now.
Yeah, now she's retired, I believe, and married to a famous tennis player.
But she's got a niceness to her. Like, she's got you can tell, like, she really enjoys what she does.
Yeah,
like Last Action Hero.
What's that?
Like Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I forgot she was in that. I'm glad you mentioned that. And rest in peace, Frank McRae.
Yeah. Off to the over the top with Big Baby from The Wizard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really sad. Like, the world will never see anything like that again.
But yeah, that Sonya Blade had more personality than this one.
Yeah, I tried to like her though. I was like, but it was just little things, like you could tell, like, they used her as the information person,
Exposition.
Yeah. She said Mortal Kombat too many times. Like, we all know it's Mortal Kombat. No one needs to say it until like the fight breaks out, right? The only time you want to hear Mortal Kombat, you want to hear it right before that fucking music kicks in. And they should have kept the original song.
Yeah, I can't stand this dubstep version of it.
It's not even good dubstep. It's like,
whatever you call it, trap.
Yeah, it's like happy dubstep.
Okay, Jax.
I liked how they took him out in the beginning. That was fucking brutal. It was brutal, like, when he falls off the side of the thing, and he hits all the things on the way down. I like that part. That was cool.
But even, like, his arms weren't practical, and I'm like, okay, it just takes him out of the movie.
Yeah.
Give me the Jax from Annihilation. I liked him more. I thought he had more of a personality. I think he was
do you know that they could have done something really cool with practical arms?
Yeah. Even Kano made a joke in there because, at first Jax has these, his arms are not fully developed. Oh, did they come in men's sizes? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, the way his arms look, before they fully grow out, but
it's funny because I have a friend. I think you met him. He fell asleep when we were doing a podcast once. But I have a friend who's exactly like Kano.
Like Kano?
Exactly. Like he will shit talk you non-stop. He doesn't care who the fuck is there. He doesn't care if it's like if he's in front of your parents, if he's in front of your neighbors, your babysitter. He doesn't care. He's like that.
What's your take? All right. Well, what's your take on Kano?
Well, that's why I liked Kano because it reminded me of my friend. So I thought it was kind of funny, kind of cute. But that's like one of your best characters, and they kill him off, and then they kill off Kung Lao, right? Spoilers.
Yeah, we're diving into spoilers here, but yeah, he's one of the better characters, and I thought he's out of the cast. He brought the most personality. Even though it got to a point where I'm like, okay, maybe he's talking a little bit too much, but I mean, compared to the rest of the cast and everyone, for me, Kano was a little bit more dimensional.
Yeah,
but the way he went out was very stupid. Getting stabbed in the eye with a garden gnome.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, it's just what I mean. It's just it's like missed opportunities because now they're fucked unless they do something where, it's just a portal to another dimension and people come back. It's kind of like how you would think that your sprite would come back, Unless they do something like that, I don't know if maybe I'd watch it for Liu Kang, but I don't know if I could watch. I don't know, like if you know what I mean. Like I don't know. I think this would be a great time for them maybe to say, okay, have another director come in and really push it to the max to see what you could do with another director. I think maybe that could be good because maybe we could get someone else's take on it without having to restart all over again. Maybe you could save it that way.
Why do I have a feeling that you're kind of mentioning it? Well, it seems like you're kind of going that way where, okay, let's say if they make a sequel. Why do I have a feeling that because of what people are saying about this film and the complaints that people have, that they're going to some way, somehow, some degree, try and retcon this movie? Oh, that was a different universe. That was an alternate, timeline or, what have you. And, let's try and rectify the wrongs of this movie. Let's take out Cole. This time, let's have Johnny Cage. And I know, that's what people are saying, that, they're saving the tournaments for the sequel. No, they should have had it from the beginning.
Yeah, they should have had it from the beginning. Like, it should have been in motion even before the credits came up.
Yeah.
Like, it should have been like, I don't want to use another bad movie as an example, but Predators, how they all kind of woke up and they were just there. Should have been more like that. Like, you should know as much as they do going into it. But you already know what it is because, the history, I don't get why they always have to do this origin, when we've seen the origin a million times.
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Yeah, we got the video games. We got the first movie. Yes, Annihilation. So we know these characters. It's not that hard. It's the KISS method of keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say. But in regards to video games, they've gone... This is not the first time, and I certainly won't be the last time of them fucking it up.
Yeah. It kind of makes you wonder what else we're gonna see soon. There's a movie that I want to see that I keep on forgetting about, and now I was gonna say it, and then I just forgot about it again.
This is what this new Mortal Kombat would do to you. It dwindles your cells. I mean, it dwindled my cells.
My brain cells. Yeah. There's another good movie though. Oh yeah. Now I remember what it is. Toxic Avenger.
Yeah, I
want to see Toxic Avenger. I know no one's talking about Toxic Avenger, and if I find out that it's a joke, I just don't know what I'm gonna do because it's perfect. Peter Dinklage as Toxie, Perfect.
With the new one?
Yeah. Have you seen the trailer for this movie called Antlers
No, I haven't seen it.
with the Wendigo?
No.
That looks phenomenal. That wow.
But go ahead.
How many more do you think they're gonna? How many more Mortal Kombat do you think they got in?
Based off this movie, it's up in the air. I mean, they say, well, it all depends on this movie and what the fans want. I think we have spoken, and and I think a lot of people. That's not a good springboard for a franchise. And
Yeah.
it's like Man of Steel. Yet again, this is like a shaky movie. Some people will say either, oh, it's better than the first movie, which I don't understand.
I get that every time. Every time I bring up that movie, someone's like, "That's like the greatest fucking movie of all time." It's like I'm a Smallville fan. I love all Supermans. I love most the Jurgens and Breeding era of Superman is my favorite Superman, followed by Dean King and Tom Welling. And if I ever mention Tom Welling, people against Henry Cavill, people lose their fucking minds. Every fucking time. Like little bitches.
And it's like
I'll say that right here because I know someone out there listening is going to fucking attack me for
no, I mean, you know what? I'll pick Tom Welling over Henry Cavill, Dean Cain as well. And I think with this movie, Mortal Kombat, people just, when it came out, a lot of people got caught up in the hype of it. And then people were like, okay, wait a second, this sucks. And there's still no Johnny Cage. We didn't even get to that.
Yeah, like, why didn't, okay, like, if you're going to make a Mortal Kombat movie, you should at least have everyone from the first game in there. Right? Like, at least everybody who was in the game.
But we don't want to have Johnny Cage as the lead character because, Caucasians are probably...
That would be like if they did another He-Man movie now, right? And they didn't put in Orko or Battle Cat or Panther or like any of the or like Mossman or any of the really cool characters, and they just rehashed new characters like they did with the Dolph Lundgren movie. That's what that would be, like a slap in the face. Like, if I had to wait fucking 30 years to see a He-Man movie and they did that to me and said, you have to wait for the sequel, then you'd see a riot. That's like the only time I'm going to be mad.
But, going back for a second, Kung Lao, you mentioned him. He's one of the highlights of the film. Like, I'll give it Kung Lao, I'll give it Kano, but Raiden is a block of wood in this movie. A nothing character.
He was horrible. Like, I was trying to get around that, and I was like trying to like the characters. I really was. I was really trying hard. I was like, okay, it's gonna get better. It's gonna get better. The screening said it was gonna get better. I even saw a Quebec screening. Some guy went to Japan to see it, like early. Some guy from here, and he was like saying it was great. So I was like, okay, it's gonna be great. And then the greatest part of the movie was probably when I almost fell asleep halfway. Or like at the end, because I was like, oh, like every time I thought it was going to go one way, it went the other way. I guess they were trying to surprise people.
It surprised people, all right. And it's like, you kind of what you were alluding to earlier. It's like you can see something in there. Like you can see, there's a good between, I guess, production value, if you want to say, or the way certain shots are, shot, scenery, what have you. It's like, man, you could see something there, and it's just dangling off a cliff. It's hanging on by a thread, and
like Reptile's in there for 30 seconds.
Well, I've heard different things. Either that's reptile or some kind of reptilian creature. But that scene where Kano kills that reptile, or if it is reptile, pretty crappy treatment.
I didn't like Reptile. I like the old Reptile.
Yeah, that was a far better fight with Liu Kang.
Yeah.
What did you think about the action scenes? You know, when they did happen.
I think you said it best when you said it was blink and you'll miss it. Like it was really blink and you'll miss it.
Yeah.
And there was no like defining moves. You know, like they make jokes like, "Oh, don't use the uppercut," blah 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 blah, whatever. But there was no one move that they did besides maybe Jax falling off the side of the thing that really hit me like a good move. You know?
Like it seems, you know, they were saying before, oh, we're going to go all out with the fatalities. But really, I mean, it's only 2 moments where you get that graphic violence.
Yeah. Ugh.
I mean, okay. I mean, it has good gore. The Kung Lao scene.
Yeah.
That was cool. Jax, you know, smashing Raiko's head was cool.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, for a film that was being pumped up as, you know, this is going to be the best Mortal Kombat, and, you know, watch out. You know, this is going to have, you know, fatalities galore, but it's only really 2 notable moments.
Yeah.
The fight scenes were in and out, shot sporadically, and nothing memorable happened. You know, especially in the third act where it goes from fight to fight to fight, and there's not enough time to concentrate on the fights.
Yeah. Really bad editing, too. I don't mean that in a bad way of like the editing was fair enough, but there was certain things that bothered me, like I mentioned earlier when Goro shows up in the barn. It feels like the lapse of time where they cut back to the house took away from the fight so much that when the fight kicked back in, I couldn't believe that Cole would have lasted that long. Like it felt like Goro showed up and killed Cole, and then it cut to commercial, and then it came back and Cole was still there.
Yeah, it does seem like that. And then, you know, what do you have? You have, you know, plot that he grows out of his ass.
Yeah. He turns into like a fucking honeybee for like...
Armor honeybee.
Fucking Cheerio Cole.
Like that tag team, the Killer Bees. He's one of the Killer Bees.
Yeah, that's what they were saying. The Killer Bees are coming. They were referring to Cole.
It's like they're really trying to go after that Marvel crowd by, you know, giving the main character this armor that, you know, will make the Winter Soldier jealous.
Yeah. Yeah. And like they do that classic thing of the movie starts and Cole gets his ass kicked, but he has a heart of gold because he showed up when nobody else would and sacrificed his health for for a couple of bucks or whatever. But you know that he's gonna save the world.
And it's funny because in the beginning Cole gets his ass kicked, and this is the savior. This is your main character that, you know, oh, Raiden has, or they have faith in that, you know, he's going to save the Earth realm. In the beginning, the first 15 minutes, Cole gets his ass handed to him in a cage.
He's no Neo, I'll give you that. I think Finding Neo is going to have a better turnout than it.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves, you know, should have shown up in this film, and this whole movie can take a page in regards to the action of the John Wick movies and how how those scenes were shot.
Yeah.
Instead of this sporadic crap.
Man, it's just a missed out. It's a classic missed opportunity scenario. Like I wonder who greenlit that script.
Well, I got a feeling that the studios were up the director's, ass like a puppet,
Hmm.
and he was just first time director, and this is the result of that, really. And the studios, really calling the shots here. But really, I blame everybody.
Yeah,
Studio,
me too.
director, cast. I mean, I blame all parties involved,
Yeah.
and people.
I'll say this. Everybody knew better going into this. Everybody. I don't want to hear any excuses. Like, it's not hard to make a Mortal Kombat movie. It should have been a one-day affair. Like, it should have been the guy sits down and writes for a day. It should have been done. It should have been very simple. Right? It should have been very simple.
You hit the nail right on the head. I mean, how hard is it? And now people are going to say, well, oh, you shouldn't be too critical and too negative. They work hard on movies. But at the end of the day,
Yeah, didn't work hard on
a movie. What? What's that?
They just didn't work hard on this movie.
No, they didn't because I didn't care. And how can you make a Mortal Kombat film boring? Even if you say maybe the best fight is the Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight, but most of that you saw in the trailer.
Yeah. You know what? The trailer was the best part of this movie.
Yeah,
Hands down.
that's all you got to do is go back and rewatch the trailer. And to be honest with you, you're not really missing much.
If you watch that trailer, you'll have a better time.
But what did you think of the Sub-Zero and Scorpion subplot?
I liked it. I just didn't like how it took too long. They tried to go all T-1000 with fucking Sub-Zero, and then they only throw fucking. It was like they only had Scorpion come back so he could say, "Get over here."
Yeah, even
And
that
like,
was
and like he says, he comes back, right? The first thing he hears, "Get over here," and then he goes back to speaking another language, and Cole doesn't even know what the fuck he's talking about the whole time they're talking. Like, fuck.
You know what this feels like?
That's a. I'm sorry.
I was getting, this movie gives me flashes back to the Forbidden Kingdom because you have two great action stars in there, and of the likes of Jackie Chan and Jet Li, and the best fight they have, and I don't even. It's been so long since I've seen that film, but even their fight wasn't all that, and it's like the Forbidden Kingdom. It's wasted, and you have a lead character that you don't give a crap about.
It's like fucking Escape Plan.
Which one?
The first one. It's like Escape Plan with Arnold and Sly. It's like, oh, you finally get it, and then they don't give it to you.
Yeah. And okay, if you had to pick one to watch, Escape Plan or this movie?
I'm choosing Escape Plan 2 and 3.
Like,
Like fucking Chad said, the lead star of Escape Plan 2 and 3. Probably because I like those two movies. Like, everybody hated them, but I actually really liked them. The only thing I didn't like was that fucking Sly gave away the Rambo plot in Escape Plan 3. I didn't like that. Because for a while he started doing that. He did that with another movie too, where he'll give you like a little bit of the next movie in that movie. I don't like that. Where that started was Rocky 4. And they'll probably have that scene in Rocky 4. I hope they have that scene.
I was about to say I haven't seen the Escape Plan sequels, so
There's a scene in Rocky 4, okay, where Rocky goes before this Congress kind of thing. Kind of like in Rocky 6 where he goes and talks to commissioners. Right? And he's like, I want to fight him. And they're like, no, you can't fight him. You can't fight Drago. It's not going to happen. Forget about it. And that whole scene leads to the flag. It leads to this deleted scene with the flag that makes the flag part at the end of the movie so great with the women's lib. But right at the end of the scene, Rocky's leaving, and they're like, you can't fight him. And you know what he comes back with to make them agree to let him fight Drago? You know what he says to them? Guess what he says?
What?
He turns around and he says, this is where the law stops and we start. And I was like, no fucking way. I was like, Cobra? In Rocky 4? Cobra was a Rocky 4 line? I was like, oh, I want that line. That should be in the trailer.
See, we'd rather talk about better movies. Give us...
Sly. But he did that with Escape Plan Theory, where he grabs the guy and he fucking cuts his throat. He says, this is what it felt like, and he cuts his throat. And then in Rambo, at the end of Rambo, he does that. He's like, this is what it felt like. And he fucking stabs the guy and rips out his heart.
And that's what this film did. Mortal Kombat. It ripped out our hearts.
Yeah.
And our souls. Yep.
This was the Rambo 5.
Oh man, now you got me thinking. If I had to pick between watching Rambo 5 and this movie.
Oh. Can I pick the trailers? They both had good trailers. I like those 8-bit Rambo 5 trailers. They're really cool.
You know what? The last 10 minutes of Rambo 5, I don't like a lot of that movie, but those last 10 minutes are better than anything in this Mortal Kombat movie, so maybe I would pick Rambo 5.
Rambo 5.
At the end of the day, I mean, we kind of, we said a lot about this movie, and I know, if people like it, that's fine. More power to you. If you feel this is better than the first movie, I don't understand it. I don't agree with that. Mm-hmm. I'll disagree to the moon or whatever analogy you want to throw in there, because to me the first movie had so much going for it. Between the cast and the soundtrack and the fight scenes, and the first movie was entertaining, and it had a charm.
It was like that first one used unknowns that were real unknowns. Like, all of those actors were unknowns, but all of those actors coming up were already unknowns, but they were all breakthrough unknown actors.
Yeah, like the biggest actor of that was Christopher Lambert.
Yeah.
And, like I mentioned before, he had more of a presence than... Christopher Lambert has more presence and personality and charm than really this whole new movie.
Yeah, I love him because I can never tell what he's gonna do.
Oh, but people say, well, the argument's gonna be, well, Raiden, he's Asian in the video games and the lore of, but I think a lot of people will say that Lambert's still better. Yeah,
like I remember at the time seeing it when it first came out. I didn't like him as Raiden. But the more I watched that movie, the more I liked him. And now I can't imagine anyone else being him.
Yeah, because he has that great line. The fate of billions will depend upon you. Sorry. He has that laugh.
He's great.
You're not going to get that from
this. I'm getting vaccinated on Sunday, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it. But I'm supposed to do this Steven Seagal thing, and they asked me to watch. Above the Law, and I tried to find it on Prime, and I couldn't, and it wasn't on Netflix. So I'm gonna have to try and find another way to watch it. So I went back and watched some clips, and god damn, Seagal was smooth back then.
And that's a better movie, far better movie.
Seagal was fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love early Seagal. Above the Law, around that era.
Scary too.
Nowadays he's scary.
Yeah. Seagal, man. Seagal.
See, we'd rather talk about Above the Law than this new movie, Mortal Kombat.
It's kind of cool because I've never been a big Seagal guy. Like I've done interviews with a lot of people who work with Seagal, but I've never really been a big Seagal guy. And now I get to learn about the good Seagal stuff. You know, so it's kind of like, wow. I'm kind of glad I waited all this time to really try and appreciate Seagal.
Yeah, that era of Above the Law to like Under Siege 2 or The Glimmer Man, Fire Down Below is good, but there was a 8, 9 year stretch where he made some good movies.
Yep.
But see, even that,
And it had like a real feel to it, like I was watching this Joe Rogan interview too, and he was saying when you watch those, because apparently they asked Joe Rogan to do an action movie, and he wanted to do like real martial arts. He didn't want to do like crazy spins and shit like that. And he said that that's one of the movies that he tried to show him as an example because it's just real. Like it's just Seagal being real with someone. It's a believable.
the Aikido.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a certain rawness to Seagal's early, like especially that early era and the way he moved in, his films and executed the Aikido.
Yeah, he was good. He was good.
See how we, like I said, we'd rather talk about Above the Law and movies like that, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I know we've ranted on sort of, one movie here for a little bit, but I guess to sort of cap off, I mean, what your overall take on Mortal Kombat is and this new one.
I would have done it differently. I'm not saying anything. If people like the movie, that's great. We're just having fun. I don't really, wish any ill will towards anyone out there, movie wise. But I would have done it differently. I'm glad we got it because it means that we have a chance to see it actually improved on. And I guess I'm thankful for the hype because I really needed that hype, and that hype got me interested in going back and maybe maybe I'll buy a new console to play some Mortal Kombat, especially now that we got Rambo. But it gave me a really good idea to go back and have some fun and watch all the old ones, and a better appreciation for them.
And that's what this film did. It makes you appreciate the first film more. It makes you go back and appreciate what we had before because, once again, and this is my feelings on the film. And for people who worked on the film, and I know people are going to say, well, they worked hard and, they did this and did that. But I'm sorry, you missed the mark yet again. This movie is soulless. And it has no soul. It got sucked out by Shang Tsung.
Yeah, you know what? Instead of saying coming soon from now on, you know what they should say? Yet again.
Yeah. And as far as a franchise or more sequels to come, why should we have hope? Why should we look forward
for anything less than greatness?
that?
There's no excuse now. There's no excuse to make a bad Mortal Kombat movie now. The fans have spoken. Do better next time.
And what happened when this film came out? I was looking at IMDb. It started off as an 8. Started going down and down and down and down. And what does that tell you? That at first people got caught up in it, the hype of it, and then the realization comes in that yet again they missed the boat. Yet again they can't get it right. Yet again we get a bad Mortal Kombat movie. And I dare anybody, for people who really like the film, what was so great about it? Yeah. That's fine if you like it. I'm not blasting you. I'm not putting you on. I'm not hounding you. But I dare people to break down what was great about this movie.
My wife wasn't too happy that I spent $30 at quarters on this motherfucker. in arcade terms.
See, even your wife is upset by this
Yeah,
movie.
and she likes all that stuff too. So it's if you make her mad, then you gotta watch out because she'll get you.
Yeah,
She'll
she's
get
more lethal in this movie
yeah,
than.
yeah. My wife can fight, man. My wife's a boxer, right? So she's fuck. Don't mess with her. I can hear her device just went off, so she's listening.
Yeah,
She's
she's
in the
like,
car.
she's like, oh, still talking about that movie.
I don't know if I want to go in there after this.
I think we've gone on too long, and now she's. But anyways, yeah. At the end of the day, if people like this film, fine. We're just having fun here with this, ranting on this
Yeah.
movie and tearing this movie apart because it deserves it. If you
Yeah.
really break it down, you look at the cast. It's a blank slate. No Johnny Cage. Fight scenes are too quick cut and in and out.
Yep. No turns.
Characters, the gore is not all that.
No. I'm fed up of fucking CGI gore. Okay. Let me just say something, okay? The rating system is gonna be the same if you use real blood or fucking CGI blood. So spend a little bit of money. Give us something to look at. We know it's not real. It's not like we're gonna go out tomorrow and fucking uppercut some. Well, maybe some people will.
How much? Now that I'm thinking about it, why do I have a feeling that people are going to say, "Oh, just wait for the director's cut, combat cut," like Justice League, and wait for the 5-hour version. It's going to be so much better. And
I don't want to see that version. I'm not doing that anymore. After you guys used all your tokens up, all your fucking arcade money when you pulled that fucking Snyder card out of your ass. No more. It's unacceptable. Unacceptable.
just wait for the cold cut. It's going to be 7 hours of glorious.
The cold cut. It would be like Gabagool. It would be like
Just wait for the birthmark cut. It's going to be 8 hours of exposition and explanation.
It's Christmas. You're gonna get the lump of coal cut in your stocking.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a USB in the shape of a fucking coal
Yeah, and this film is a coal in your stocking.
with a fucking birthmark.
Don't even get me started on that. The birthmark.
God damn.
Like, how do you have?
Just when you think there's nothing left to complain about, the fucking birthmark.
The birthmark. Yeah, we've complained about every aspect of the film except the birthmark.
Like nobody noticed. Nobody noticed the birthmarks. Like that looks like a dragon.
Yeah, when the doctor delivered Cole and saw that birthmark.
He slapped him on the ass and tried to send him back in.
Yeah, the doctor tried to shove the Cole baby back in the womb.
Get out of here, Quado.
Yeah.
Open your mind to this.
Yeah.
Open your mind to learning the secret power. And what's up with the secret powers? Like, why did you need the secret? There was no reason at all to have secret powers. And if anything, that made the movie a lot worse.
God, I mean, I think we've really extinguished ourselves here.
Man.
Man.
I didn't like that, though. I really didn't like that magical thing. Like, I was like, that's fucking lazy writing. That's really fucking lazy writing. You mean to tell me you can't figure out a reason for Kano to have his eye? You can't, Oh. Oh, man. I was just waiting for someone to whip their dick out as their special power. I was like, like, you know what I mean? Like, what powers are the new people gonna have? I'm not going any further on that.
Yeah.
I don't like to hate me.
Glory hole power? I don't know.
Or,
See, I'm just making up stuff.
yeah, I don't know. You killed your best characters. I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what more I could say and add.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see them go in a dimension where all the movies cross over together. All the show, all the movies, bring everybody back. Pay them fucking money. Pay the money. Bring everybody. You know you can afford it.
What they had Christopher Lambert and some of the original cast provide voiceover in the new game.
Well, there you
As
go.
as what?
There you go.
As unlockable. I guess you have to unlock these characters or the versions of Johnny Cage and Raiden and Sonya Blade. But like the only person that didn't come back was Robin Shaw, who played Liu Kang.
Wow. Because I'd really love to see like a Mortal Kombat 95 sequel, like direct sequel, like all these years later. What they're doing all these years later, I would love to see that.
Yeah, do it animated.
Yeah,
They had Scorpion's Revenge, and I have that. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard a lot of good things about that.
yeah. I haven't watched. I was gonna watch it. It was $30, and I was like, I'm not paying $60 on Mortal Kombat. Not today.
Yeah, you got burned once. Well, I mean, but again, I've heard a lot of good things about Scorpion's Revenge, and I do have it. Now that I want to check it out, after watching this, see, I rather makes me want to go back and check out that.
So are you ready for? Because you know this is coming. Are you ready? Are you ready for the new Mortal Kombat? Maybe Mortal Kombat game comes out and Cole is like the best player. Everyone's like, yeah, I kick ass with Cole. He's the best Mortal Kombat. Are you ready? Are you ready for that? Because you know that's coming.
As excited as a root canal.
Yeah, I just had one of those, and guess what? I had a better time. I really did, honestly. I had a better time. A fabulous new dentist, fabulous. And I had a really bad one. Like, I had a root canal. I had 2 root canals, and then I got a bacon bit stuck in there before I could get my cap put on, and it broke. It broke one in half. So I was in fucking pain because it went all the way down to my jaw, and I had one good nerve that was in there, and that nerve got exposed, and I was in fucking pain and pain and pain, and like I went in there, and I was like, just do what you got to do, and they gave me this amazing Novocaine. This new Novocaine is like amazing, and it was the best 2 hours I felt in a long time, and that was better than Mortal Kombat, and then. And then the next day, or was it the same day or the day before someone died, I broke my rib. And that was better than So, I don't know.
Yeah, I could tell. I mean, Whew. Yeah, see what this movie does.
A root canal and
A broken rib.
better than Mortal Kombat. This Mortal Kombat, I tell you, this one was a game changer. This one. But I don't know. I can complain as much as I want, but I'm still glad we got it because I do have hope. And I like that it came along in a time that got me interested in going back and checking out something from my youth that was really from a great time in my life. So.
Yeah, for me, at the end of the day, what this film did is only elevated the greatness of the first movie. It made Annihilation look like, a better movie. I mean, as bad as it is, it's less boring. So that's kind of, all I can say about that.
Now all we're missing is the Schumacher Cut, and we will have a great summer. Because I'm actually, if that happens, I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, what happened to the Snyder Cut? Because that came out, and then everyone put it on such a pedestal, and then what do you know? It's kind of.
Oh no! Sorry! I got the wrong name.
What's that?
Because I'm tired. Schumacher Cut. Sorry. Schumacher Cut. If we get the Schumacher Cut, it would be a great summer.
Yeah, because I know there's been some buzz about the Schumacher Cut, and apparently, like the writer of Batman Forever has seen the Schumacher Cut, but they haven't said if it's coming out or have announced a date. Apparently, what's that?
I was watching some Batman thing where they were talking about that all those deleted scenes.
Of what? Batman Forever?
Yeah, it was like a podcast. Fuck, what podcast was that? I don't think it was Batman Minute. I think it was another one. It might have been Batman Minute.
But this is what we're talking about here is as of, let's see. Well, I think it was mentioned a few days ago, but from Joe Blow today, this is what the writer says. Batman Forever has a renaissance coming. I'm really interested in see whether the original cut of Forever comes out because I got to see it recently for the very, very first time, or the first one, which is the preview cut. It was really dark and really pretty psychological exploration of guilt and shame. And it's reportedly 170 minutes.
That sounds great. I'm ready. And I'm not even a fan of that film, but I'm ready. Just because, like, going back, I know I talk about VR a lot, but going back to being able to watch all these movies I never got to see in the theater in VR is like, wow. Wow. It opens your eyes to a lot of things. It's something really, like, it's very tangible, and unless you experience it, it's really hard to explain it. But it really opens your eyes to the love of filmmaking. So I would love to watch this because I just remember, like, a lot of the background and, like, a lot of stuff. You don't see any of that today.
Yeah.
So I'm on this big hype of going back and really falling in love with the magic of the movies.
Yeah, that's a film that I'm very so on. There's some good points. There's some things that I'm not too big on when it comes to Batman Forever. But I'm interested. If it does happen, it does come out, I will give it a watch. That's more than I can say for the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
And like I said, I know we meant to mention the Schumacher Cut, but the Snyder Cut, what happened? It came out. I know some people that have seen it. I know Matt Rambraff has suffered through that, and I feel bad for you, Matt.
I won't do it. I refuse. I refuse to watch
You said that with such a. I love the
can't.
expression that you just gave.
Like I can't. Like I physically, I can't. Like I don't. Like I can't. I tip my hat to him for watching that because I couldn't fuck on.
What would it take?
I gotta see Matt's review though because Matt has a really great way of like analogies. So I gotta see that.
What would it take for you? Just kind of playing here for a minute.
Give me my 2 hours back from Mortal Kombat, and I'll think about it. I'll think about watching it. No, I don't know. I'm gonna have to be really bored. You know what'll probably happen is when the lockdown's over and we're allowed to leave our fucking houses, and I get to go hang out with my movie buddy. He'll probably make me watch it. Because he always makes me watch what I don't want to watch. So, yeah. But we have a good time, We have a good time. Like, I had to watch that director's cut, that stupid Batman, Superman director's cut. And I already saw the movie twice, and I said, I'm not watching it again. And I still got suckered into watching that movie. So maybe that will be it. Because I don't think he's seen it yet.
Well, since we're talking about cuts here, how do you think, and I don't know, I forgot when this is coming out, but, the Rocky IV director's cut, how do you think this will fare?
Like, I heard a lot of different things, and I've seen a lot of different things. Things I've seen I really like. Like, I like that, Apollo's getting beaten to death. And, it cuts to Rocky, and Rocky's trying to say everything to pump him up. Apollo's just fucking not listening and just walking into shit. And then Rocky, for a split second, starts talking to Apollo like Apollo talked to Rocky. And I love that shot. I love that shot. I can't wait to see that. I think they're trying to modernize it, right? So I'm interested to see how they do it.
Isn't it called Rocky versus Drago?
Yeah, I'm not too big on the title. I like Rocky for director's cut. I like that.
I wonder why they couldn't just leave it at that.
Yeah, you know what I would have called it? World War Creed.
That's a better title than Rocky versus Drago.
Yeah, that's what I would have called it. World War Creed. I think about that a lot. Because there's a lot of Rocky 4 that we didn't get to see. And I wish we could see it. It's so beautiful. Like, I don't know why they cut it down to 80 or 90 minutes. I just don't know why. Because they had some really dynamite stuff in there. They had a whole other movie in there. It could have been like 2 movies long if they wanted to.
Do you think? Do you think looking back that, with that franchise, should have ended at Rocky 4?
I could see where it could have ended at Rocky 3. 4, yeah. Definitely 5. I thought 5 was the end, honestly, for the longest time. It's weird. Like, I know Rambo, they changed the timeline. And I'm wondering if Sly knowingly changed the timeline between 4 and 5, or if he already had that set with 4. Because we're doing a little special for Rambo 4, where we want to do the original Rambo 4 that had all the throwbacks to the other 3 movies, the Ko throwback, the Hamid throwback, and then at the end, Rambo goes off and starts the Expendables.
Huh.
Yeah. So I'm wondering about the time. Plus, there was other character, like this character Bumgarner, who I swear, reading that fucking thing, all I can think of is Ted Sutton. He's like, "Come on, Rambo, let's go somewhere where the food doesn't stare back at you." I know all about you, White Death. Yeah, like, and like Rambo's like, "What'd you call me?" And he like, Bumgarner grabs him like teeth. You know, like that scene in First Blood where he's like taking the ink off his hands with that thing, and Brian Denny, he grabs him.
Yeah.
The guy does that to Rambo, and Rambo just looks at him like, "I'm gonna fucking kill you." So good, so good. And they have a throwback scene to Ko with the Pearl of the Cobra. Oh, so fucking good, so good, Sly. Why'd you cut all that shit out?
Well, even like,
Imagine, could you imagine could you imagine an Expendables movie with fucking Rambo and Dutch and Riggs and fucking Chuck Norris, Braddock? Could you imagine that?
Why didn't we get that? I think it would have been too many egos.
Oh, fuck.
Everybody wanting
Scott and you could have Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren in there too. Shit.
What year would that have came out?
2012. End of the world.
The characters that,
Oh, man.
John Matrix, John Rambo, Braddock.
Yeah.
Save us from the apocalypse.
Yes. It's so good. It's so good. And when I talked to Matt Marsden, right? I think it's Schoolboy. He was giving me all these little clues to it, right? And I wasn't listening. You know what I mean? I was kind of like, I was listening, but like my brain was going another way with it. You know, like Rambo running around the fight and getting killed and maybe passing it off to Schoolboy. But what I didn't realize what he was trying to tell me was
Schoolboy from Rambo 4, right?
Yeah, that he was going to be an expendable. So I was like, oh shit. When I went back and read it, I was like, wait a fucking minute here. Like, everything came into focus. And there was the extra battle scene. There was more battle scenes. There was a lot more shit in there. It was a good two, maybe a 3 hour movie. But
Yeah, I enjoyed Rambo 4. It would have been interesting to see maybe that character in the Expendable, like take that character, put it in the Expendables film.
yeah.
But I like that character in Rambo 4. But since
But
we're
it would have
talking,
been cool. Like it would have been cool to see like Rambo go off and start a team, like a Force of Freedom. It would have been cool. Like Rambo, Schoolboy, Anju dies. I was really sad that Anju died. Um, but like certain characters, it would have been perfect to bring back like Kurtwood Smith and David Caruso and
for one last hoorah.
yeah, fuck.
But since we're on that topic, well, not well. I mean, we're talking about Rambo and Stallone here, but I'm surprised we haven't heard anything about Samaritan.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I know we kind of talked about a little bit.
Back.
What's
I don't
that?
know where I stand on that one. Like, I want to like it more than I do, but there's a lot of reasons why I don't. Too many to go into now, but it's like one of those. I think it was. I think, like, I'm sure I'm gonna go see it, and then I know I'm gonna come away with it, looking at the brighter points of it. Like, I know I'm gonna focus on the good points of it, but I feel like it's too rushed. Like from the beginning, when they started it, I felt like it was too rushed. I don't know if they could salvage it.
Yeah, I know it's the same director that did Overlord, which I enjoyed. I thought it was
Yeah,
a
I
very,
really love
really
that.
solid movie. The only thing I could take away that from the looks of it, Samaritan seems like something akin to Hancock.
Yeah, yeah. It's different. It's different than the literature. So I don't know. I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I think I'm just sour because when they at first announced it, they announced the other Samaritan. Everybody
This is
thought it was the other Samaritan.
that this is a different version take.
Yeah. But I'm kind of thankful because then I went out and bought a whole bunch of Samaritan comics, the whole universe. So I'm like,
Well, you know more than me.
I'm glad because I got to read some really fucking cool comic books. So
Well, I mean, you're more knowledge. I mean, I know what I know about Samaritans very little.
it's kind of like a Justice League versus Legion of Doom kind of thing.
Yeah, because it's supposed to come out in June, right?
Yeah, with time travel and stuff like that. This one I think is like a urban, like a superhero that goes missing, that they find in an urban setting.
And he's like a homeless character.
Well, I think he's like a garbage man or something like that. I think that's why he's a garbage man. I did a review of the comic books. He's like a garbage man, and he has to fight his nemesis that also went missing.
Yeah,
It draws his actions draw the nemesis back.
yeah. I thought this was supposed to come out in June, and there hasn't been any sort of trailer or nothing.
Yeah, it's about I want to say close to 10 years old, 11 years old.
Are you talking about the comics?
Yeah, and that they've been working on this movie 11 years.
Yeah, I mean it's in the can, so I don't know what the holdup is. If it is it due to the COVID thing or?
I think so. I think it was COVID that fucked everything up. I'm pretty sure that was it because I think they were close to wrapping before on something, and then COVID hit, and then there was like almost a year where no one did anything.
And then they went back and finished it.
Yeah. And that scares me to death. You know what I really want to see Sly do now?
I was getting ready to ask that question. Like, what do you think? Because
Like,
what
especially
she's
with the COVID thing and his age, and I don't mean to say that in a derogatory fashion because you can never ever count Stallone out. He will always come back. But what I would love to see him go back and retouch all those movies that he never got to do. I want to see like alternate cuts of all the Rocky movies. I want to see alternate cuts of all the Rambo movies. I want to see alternate cuts of everything.
and better Blu-rays. Like,
Yeah,
provide insight interviews of the ones like Demolition Man.
hmm
I mean, you could do more for even the Rocky sequels. Don't have features. Like the first one in Rocky Balboa get the most.
yeah. I saw. Was it yesterday? I saw like a flip page he was working on for Rocky TV show coming out. Rocky prequel TV show set in the '60s, which got me thinking because there's that deleted scene in Rocky 4. There's a deleted scene in Rocky 4 where Rocky meets Mickey for the first time when he's 15, and you get the name Rocky. Like that's how you learn Rocky's name is Robert. Not Robert, but Rocky. You know, that's where he dons the Rocky name. Um, I fucking hope we get that scene. I don't care how they do it. I just want that scene in there.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this prequel series. I'm not even, to be honest with you, like even with Creed 3, I'm like, I don't look forward to Creed 3.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence.
I mean, I don't know what you feel about the first two, but
I like that first one. I rewatched the second one. It left me asking questions like it looked like Drago had the scar from when Rocky cut him in Rocky 4. But it just kind of left me thinking about other things. It left me thinking about the deleted scenes from Rocky 4 more. And I'm wondering if maybe that was a reason why Sly wanted to do a director's cut. Because Creed 2 kind of opens a can of worms. But unless you read the novelization or unless you read the script, you wouldn't pick up on it.
yeah.
So, but I like the first one. I really like the first one.
And it's funny because we're talking about it. Like, I just got thinking a second ago. I'm like, what is, the thing is, with Stallone, he's not getting younger. So what more does he have to give? I mean, how much does he have left in the tank?
And he can always like sign off those old movies for sequels now because they have enough love that I think people would embrace them anyways. And he could always do cameos, or he could direct and cameo. And in the meantime, maybe give us some of those cuts that we've always wanted to see.
Oh, okay. Like, if he could do one more movie, if there was one project that maybe you never did, or just to finish off with the swan song, and it's like career wise, what would be that film?
For me, it would be Sin Silver.
What's that?
It would be his western about the Hasidic Jews.
That's the first time I heard about that. I thought you were going to say like Isapar.
No, that would be my dream. That would be my dream pick. That would be my. If I could tell Sly to make one movie, that's the movie I'd tell him to make because he wanted to make it, and he wrote it when he was so young, and it's just a beautiful sounding movie. It's very romantic, very romantic time. Yeah, and it's cool, like things that are, crossing over those two genres. It's a really cool concept. You could, how he works with horses is great. I'd love to see him as a cowboy. I'd also like to see Princess of Mars. I'd love to see that too.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, he was going to do that.
Wasn't there one like called The Bodyguard where, like, it was supposed to be what's the plot? He was like in a wheelchair and he was like
that was That was Midnight Club. That's a really good one. That's a really good one. I'm probably going to review the rest of that at some point. And the other one I want to review is the sequel to ICU. That is pretty cool. Where they feed the guy to a fucking alligator.
Are you referring to the novel?
Yeah.
Okay. If I had to pick one, I gotta go with Isobar because of how, like, it would have been awesome to see Stallone in a creature feature horror type of film, surrounded by a cool cast, either facing off against a. What's that?
That could have been a legendary movie. That could have changed so many franchises, so many genres. You know, imagine.
It would have been great.
Yeah. Super epic.
But
I could just see the trailer in my head for that.
yeah,
With the trailer guy and like, you know, like it would have been like
Don Fontaine with the voice.
Yeah, it would have been like blue metal words spinning by really fast this summer.
Coming this fall.
The train is off the track. They have fucking Crazy Train by Ozzy in the background.
I try to do the voiceover. The trailer. I try, but I fail. From the director of Universal Soldier.
Yeah.
Yeah, because wasn't Roland Emmerich going to direct it?
Yeah, at one point, yeah. He could have done a good job. I'd watch it.
Yeah, and I know we've talked about, we've dove into that before, the history of Isobar, but
yeah. And everybody out there, you gotta go watch Pyramid Head's Isobar video. It's fucking insane, amazing. Insane, amazing.
Shout out to Kierman Head.
Yeah.
Kierman Head.
I'm all right. Shout out to Jack.
Jack Craven, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, Jack, I know you're listening. You've been waiting for us to talk about you and, your stuff. We're going to do that at some point here very soon. I'm sure, if he happens to come in the comments section here, this is a shout out to you, buddy. We haven't forgot. And we're going to do something. We're going to get back on that train.
Yeah, yeah, literally.
Isobar style. Yeah. But anyway.
Jack's would be fun. Like, oh man.
Send us more stuff, Jack.
Last time we had so much to work with that it's like every time we go to pick one, we can't just pick one because like every single fucking one is amazing. So, Jack. Woo!
But I don't know what else to add here. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm really happy to catch up. And if you guys never hear from me again, it's because I got the vaccine on Sunday.
Oh, you're fine. I mean,
yeah, Bill Gates done.
But
I said that great. Help you happen.
It was great to catch up again, and this really was a shot in the arm because it's just, well, I mean, no pun intended, but since I've moved in here, I haven't really, I've done a couple of videos, but I haven't done all that much because, just kind of getting things in order where I can get comfortable and, be more consistent. And it's great to catch up with you and rant a little bit and talk about various subjects and, catch up with the other guys, which I've done, very recently, Fabio, Mario, and definitely more of that to come.
I love to watch videos. I gotta say, I've been like, I'll go on like a zero cool kick while I'll do like 5. Like I'll watch them all day while I'm doing something.
Yeah.
And man, Mario, thanks for answering that question about the LARPing and Shiki Baby. Baby.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Man, we should do some more group discussions. Just
We're gonna do it.
Round tables and man, I have so much fun when I hang out with you guys. Like,
and Wild Man too.
Yeah. Like I'm so in love with what you guys do. Like, I know it's a cheesy thing to say, but you guys really do make the world a better place. So thank you for that.
Yeah, I really, like I've said this before, and I'll say it again. As much fun as I have making videos, I have just as much more fun doing collaborations and just hanging with Fabio and Mario and you and Wildman, Rambrath when he has the time, and
Yeah.
other people out there talking about Jack Craven. Is the information that he provides is fun.
Hmm.
And it's again, like I said, it's not going to be the last time. We're definitely going to do more of this.
Oh yeah. We're just getting started for the summer.
That's right.
It's gonna be awesome. Awesome summer.
But
I can't wait to hear like all the rants on the summer movies.
yeah, because this year is definitely going to need it. I mean, if we're not going to have the best year of movies, at least we can provide some entertainment via collaborations and such.
Mm-hmm. You know what I watched last week that I really liked? I didn't think I was gonna like it at all. Was that Robert Rodriguez one, the robot girl one. Battle Angel or whatever the heck it was called.
I didn't see that.
I really liked it. You should watch that one. I think you would like it.
Okay, I've seen the trailers and stuff, but I don't know much about that. I mean, I think James Cameron had a hand in it.
Yeah, I was surprised to see his name at the end. But I really didn't think I was gonna like it. But there's just something about it I liked it. I watched it with my wife, and she was like, "Wow." It's like Robert Rodriguez made that. And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, is there anything? I mean,
that's what Mortal Kombat. That's how it should have ended. Like Dusk Till Dawn at the end when they pan out and you get like the vampire pyramid. Except it should have been like in the Mortal Kombat game where you climb the pagoda. It should have been like that.
it should have.
Yeah. Whoa.
How do you feel?
Mortal Kombat. Dun, dun.
Sucks.
Yes. Sucks.
Oh man.
Woo.
We're definitely gonna do this again, though. I had a lot of fun, and like I said, I don't know what else I can add to that.
I think that was pretty good. I like that one. That was good. It got all the Mortal Kombat off my mind. It like that was the perfect finish him for damn. Can't believe they killed Kung Lao. I'm so mad. Fuck.
But let's do this again.
Yeah.
And hopefully at some point here with the other guys, and this is a lot of fun. So, but like I said, I don't know what else to add to that. But if Matt's good, and
I'm good. Thank you everybody for listening to my ranting for 2 hours.
no, this is great, and I had a lot of fun. But everybody out there, thank you for watching, and we will see you again.
Later.